Comes.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Tapioca. I'm going to be playing Zone of the Enders, the second runner today, if it loads. Joining me in the couch is Kekeman Shoyu, another fantastic runner of this game, and Carcinogen, who's cool.
Hi, what's up?
So, category I'm going to be running today is New Game Easy. Easy because it's 15 minutes shorter, and New Game because it's more fun. So, I am ready to go. So, I guess I will give you the countdown in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, man.
Okay, let's see this. No landing cancel. You can save a second there.
Yeah.
But just one other thing that's probably worth mentioning in this boring intro hallway is that I'm playing on PS3. This HD version is based on the PS2 Special Edition, which was only in Japan and Europe, and it adds about 5 or 6 minutes of extra fights. But due to just how little lag there is on PS3 and also a whole bunch of boss fight rebalancing, this is the fastest version of the game. And it's not even close, I think. So now we've got in our main mech here, and that's a strat you're going to see quite a bit in this run. These charge shots have huge splash damage, so if we can get the enemies to group together, then we can kill them real quick with that. Skip cutscenes. Alright, and then these mosquitoes are going to be switching between the homing lasers and the charge shot. Homing lasers are a little weird in this game. It's kind of random how they move. So we're hoping that it hits lots of things that we're not targeting, and it did, so that was actually very quick. These enemies we can completely ignore. As you can see, the fastest way of moving in this game is mashing the dash button, so I will be mashing this thing pretty hard the entire game, with a few exceptions. I'll point them out when we get to them. Grabbing and throwing is another super overpowered tech. I'll be doing that, mostly only in the early game.
And once you get Gauntlet, Halberd, stuff like that.
So this is Argent 1. This is the first boss of the game. The bosses in this game can kind of be split up into two categories, those that we can cheese out and those that are completely random. So this is one of those completely random ones. If we get very lucky here, which I'm not, yeah, so you can skip this laser attack that she's doing right now and one cycle her, but I'd say that happens like 1 out of every 20 runs. It's very rare. So I'm just going to do this, and she's dead now.
Nice. Just want to make a mention about every boss is pretty random with their cycles, so we're hoping for really good luck.
Yeah, this game, especially with the bosses, has a lot of RNG.
As long as you're aware of the spawn positions on these early enemies, you can actually either wait for them to come to you or just simply launch a charge shot in the middle of them.
Second and final tutorial skip.
Ken, we got some stick strats.
Yeah, so for whatever reason around this spaceship, they just left all these sticks around. Ooh, I broke it. I have to go get another. And the sticks are really powerful, and they have this huge backswing. So for this entire segment, we're going to be using a lot of sticks, and we're going to try to kill multiple things at a time with them.
So I want to point out that square enemy, which is called a cellar, you want to destroy it very quickly before they spawn other enemies. It's there's a lot of them throughout this ship here, and then a few of them outside of the ship afterwards.
Alright, we're coming up on our next boss here. They've actually gone ahead and dedicated an entire boss fight to stick strats. This is Nephthys 1. The one kind of betrays that we'll be fighting her several times in the game. And for this, there's some kind of glitch you can do on higher difficulties maybe where you kill her almost instantly, but on easy, you just throw sticks at her until she dies. It takes 2 hits. And now right away we're thrown into another fight. This is Anubis 1. He's the final boss of the game, but he's a bit too tough right now. We could try to fight him, but it won't end well, so let's just have him kill us. And there you go, he's totally wrecked. He doesn't kill us though, we're still fine.
We just lose our heart and lungs, no big deal.
Yep. Alright, so now's where the stick strats really are gonna come into play here. As I kill these dudes. Oop. You're supposed to be dead. There we go, he's dead.
So what Tapio's gonna do is also untarget.
Oh, he's not dead.
Oh no.
Where'd he go? Quit dodging, thank you.
Yeah, the AI in this game is sometimes weird. But what Tapio's gonna do is untarget a lot of the enemies. So the horizontal swing of the stick can kill multiple of them
We're still alive.
in one swing.
There we go. A little sloppy, but I got a bunch of kills with one swing, so I'm happy about that at least. Got a couple more of these spiders. These guys can get away from you if you're not careful with how you time these shots. There we go, that went perfectly fine.
It's another cellar room.
Yeah, this is actually one of the examples of the fights that was added to the special edition. If you played this game and you live in America, you probably don't recognize this because it was not added until the HD version in the US. But there we go, Styx made real short work of that room, and hopefully, you can kill both those guys by just getting in front of them real quick and using one swing. Kind of screwed it up.
This room right here is also not in the original PS2 version.
Yeah, and this room's actually kind of complicated. There are a lot of different approaches to this. I'm gonna just grab a stick, go straight for the center, and deal with the cellar. Sometimes you'll see other runners of this game kind of go around the edges of the room and try and deal with those little orb cannons. I'm just gonna let them live and hope they don't annoy me too much. And then for dealing with these mummy heads, I actually don't like to use sticks here if I don't have to, just because the stick has a long charge up time and they can interrupt it. So I find that doing those combos is just slightly faster on those guys.
Right. The lasers on the mummy heads are just a constant DPS stream. So
Yeah.
it's trying to get a slow attack off with these steel girders is not going to, or sticks is not.
They're probably steel girders.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just trying to stick with nomenclature here. So yeah, just sticks are.
They're a nice thing to say. It's easier, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so this is
your
Taper.
syllables.
Let's see what Taper we get. He gave us a 1. So Taper can be in box 1, 5, or 6. We want to manipulate Taper to be in room B so we can skip a fight, but if he gives us 1, we have to take a detour over here and then break that box. Otherwise, we'd be able to go straight to room B, and it would save maybe like 10-15 seconds. And then he is in this box right here.
Nice. So is it basically like a flowchart about of where Taper is going to appear, or
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's how it works. You just kind of, if it's 1, he's always in the same spot. 5, same spot. It's consistent. It's just 1 of 3.
Okay.
But now that we've got him, we have to escort him off the ship. And Taper can tank a lot of damage, even on higher difficulties. So we're just going to use him as bait, and we're just going to have all the enemies fly into him, and then we're going to kill them all at the same time.
Fun fact, you can actually use him to attack enemies, but
It's not very useful.
it's not very useful.
I think the game is trying to encourage you not to use them to attack things.
Maybe that's why they did it that way. But you can see they're very stupid. They just totally stick on Taper, and we can kill him quickly. So there you go. We only had 2 fights because we broke Taper in the fastest spot. Now we just have a few more here before we get to go to Mars. And I'm positioning myself to try and manipulate these guys into grouping up.
So-
Second wave never works as well as it should.
Just want to point out that if you guys have noticed, there's the robots with the commander icon. If they group up, all the enemies will become stronger. They'll coordinate attacks against you. So you want to kill the commander as fast as you can.
Yeah, with commanders, these guys get really annoying.
So with the commanders in this game, when you kill them, do the levels of their subordinates lower, like in ZOE 1?
Yes. I believe so. They have less health. It's not like the first game where they have literally no health after you kill the commander, but it's close. So we've got a couple waves here before we get to go fight the next boss. These are Naritas. They're new enemies, and they're really annoying. These are my least favorite enemies in the game. but I just came up with that on the fly, and it worked great. So I'm going to
that
start
was-
doing that in runs now. That was so fast.
That was actually really good.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. So here we go. This is Vic Viper. You may recognize his name from Gradius. This is actually being piloted by the protagonist of the first game, but we're going to do something a little bit tricky here in just a second. So we're going to ignore him for a moment. We're going to come down by the door. Now he should be coming close, and we're going to put him in the corner, and now we just do this.
Sit the F down, Vic Viper.
Yeah, so this attack is supposed to have huge knockback, but since we've got him in this corner, not a whole lot he can do to break out of my combo.
Can you actually do this on extreme difficulty?
Yeah,
Yes,
you can
yeah.
do this on extreme. It's a little different because you can't grab him, so you got to manipulate his position, but it is possible.
Wow.
So we
So-
got. Oh,
I'll let you explain.
okay. Yeah. So we got a new sub weapon called Gauntlet, which is used very widely throughout the run. Basically, it shoots a projectile and it pushes the enemy, and it causes a lot of damage, as you can see. The way we use it to our advantage too is that when we have an enemy close to a wall, that causes extra damage through that. So you can see right here how quickly you can make work of it.
So what I'm trying to do is get all the enemies to fly at me so that I can hit them with that charge shot. But sometimes Narita's like this guy, just like to hang around somewhere, get caught on the level geometry, and we have to go find them. So this is about average luck. We got a few guys hanging back, but not too many. I should kill. Yeah. Alright, moving on here to the canyon. We've got a whole bunch of regular fights, and my strats for that are just going to stay the same as they've been. I'm going to be using Gauntlet to knock the enemies into walls. There are a few things to note about this. Not every enemy needs to die, and sometimes the enemies that do need to die will say key when you're targeting them, but not always. So I do kind of have to manually keep track of who's who here, and then hope that the targeting system cooperates with me. You can see here, these Gauntlet really just makes these fights pretty free.
Right. This level is very, very conducive to knocking enemies into the wall. They wanted you to abuse the Gauntlet quite heavily in this area.
Yeah, this is like Gauntlet training zone, I guess. Alright, we've got a Naritas. This is the last fight on the right side.
One other thing to note is with the heavy sub-weapon use, sometimes killing enemies in a certain order is beneficial, so to be able to recharge your sub-weapon energy at the correct times.
Let's see if I get this quick kill. It's looking good.
Oh, very
Awesome.
nice. That was a very nice one. Yeah.
So that timing is actually a lot tighter than it looks. And earlier in the run, I mentioned a note about movement. This is one of those cases where I won't be mashing the dash button. If you hold it down long enough, then you go into flight mode and you start moving really fast, which is what I'm doing now. So that is faster than mashing over long distances. I'll only do it in one or two places because there aren't a lot of long distances, but that is one of them. But with all that being said, we've just kind of got to keep doing what we've been doing, moving down the left side of this canyon now. So I think we've got time for a couple donations.
Absolutely. We've got a $200 donation from MVO. GDQ are part of those events that make me keep faith in humanity. Thank you to everyone who made this event possible with love from France. We have a $20 donation from Gadgetman X that reads, "Hey Tapioca, it's Gadgetman X. Good luck on the run from me and the rest of the Pie Snug squad. Donation goes to Runner's Choice."
Yo, hey Gadget Man.
And we have a $40 donation from Mr. Kipling that reads, "Time for my biannual donation to charity through Games Done Quick. Perfect lazy watching for a Saturday morning."
Alright, we're coming up in the last fight here. In the last fight, all the enemies have to die. Not that it's a big deal because Gauntlet makes it so fast. Alright, cool. There's no quick kill for this fight that I'm going to do here, but depending on how the commander likes to move, we can go varying speeds, I guess. That was not great. So it left a whole bunch of guys alive that I now have to kind of clean up. Actually, I don't know if the splash damage killed anybody there. That was not very good. Not a huge deal though. Cleanup is nice and quick. And now, this bit of movement is a little bit harder than the last one, just because the camera can't quite keep up with you when you're moving around like this. So if I bonk into a wall, I'll lose all my speed. But it's not like a huge deal or anything. This is still pretty easy.
So
Yeah.
upcoming is another Neptis fight. What Tapio wants to do is grab a panel from the pillars or from the wall and block the Neptis charge attack, like so, and start slashing right afterwards.
Yeah, if I get really lucky here, I can do this in 2 cycles. I need her to not put her shield up after 2 combos. And I think it has something to do with knocking her into the panels that are on the walls, but it seems very inconsistent. Yeah, see, this is going to be a 3 cycle now. Come on. That's pretty normal. You almost always get a 3 cycle there. And then this is where the fight gets really interesting, because now there are a whole bunch of different ways she could give me bad luck. We want her to fly into these walls. Once she's on these walls, she's stunned. We don't want her to break out like that. We want her to stay close to the walls, but she isn't. We can kind of use Gauntlet to try and push her around, but she also likes to ignore that. There we go. Good luck.
Nice.
That's what we want. We want her to just stand there, and we can combo her right back into the wall. But sometimes she's not so cooperative. So that was actually pretty good.
Yep.
That does not always work as well as it did there.
That was actually that could have been a lot more random.
Yeah, in our practice run, that probably took about 3 times as long, and I
Yeah.
ran out of sub-weapon energy trying to push her around. But so this is really just a glorified auto-scroller. You want to know... I already know where these enemies spawn, so I'm kind of just spawn camping them. Believe it or not, I think they sped these guys up for HD, or at least the special edition. In the original PS2 version of the game, this is even slower. So just another reason to run on HD. But for the next minute or 2, I think we've got time for more donations.
Absolutely. We have $20 from an anonymous donator that says, just had to get up early and donate again for Second Runner, one of my favorite games of all time. Shout out to Tapioca for showing it off during AGDQ 2018. Put this towards the runner's choice. We have $5 from Iggy Zig that says, I'm ready for some high-speed robot action. We have $20 from Shadows Abyss that says, hey Tappy, good luck on the run.
Yo, Shadows Abyss, what's up, man?
Don't forget to validate your run with a Mummy Crush. I will donate another
I'll try.
$10 if you can get a quick kill on Zakat. Money goes to runner's choice.
I got it in practice, we'll see.
And we have $50 from El Bender that says, good morning and love from Spain. Looking forward to a weekend of AGDQ with the entire family. Let's make Dark Souls 3 happen. And I don't speak any Spanish, so I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Alaba el Sol, which is praise the sun, apparently. We learned something new today.
These enemies take extra long to spawn in, so you can play around in this park. After these guys, though, they do start to speed up a little bit, and we can't just spawn camp them as effectively. And it'll be over in like 30 seconds anyway, so we'll just keep cleaning up. You can see just how useful Gauntlet is, though. It completely cuts through these guys' shields, and then it's just a matter of hitting them once with a little shot to kill them. And the way they jump around is consistent, too. They will always jump to the same positions, so I'm not really surprised by that. Got that guy out of midair. That's pretty cool. Alright, that was
Nice.
a pretty solid ending. Let's see.
We'll start ranking.
Yeah, let's see. Did I hit a building? I did not hit a building.
Oh, it's a
Nice,
double S.
perfect.
So this level was a ranking stage, and then there's another one coming up a little later.
Alright, I gotta focus here. This is a bit tough.
So this is the train stage. What the objective is that we have 4 cars to destroy. Tapioca, what he's gonna do is do the combination of lasers and phalanx. What phalanx is basically like a machine gun that spreads all over the targets. It's pretty strong, and so after destroying a car, a couple more enemies will show up, and we have to destroy them as fast as we can. So he's gonna switch to Gauntlet, and he's gonna push them against the wall. As you can see, when you push them against the wall, they just start flying all the way back. And then, so right here, As you can see with each car, there's different arsenal that they have. And you can see Tapioca moving to the bottom of the car, because after each explosion of each car, it'll push Tapioca back. So we want to be as close to the next car as possible.
Some
Going
pretty
alright.
interesting physics
Yeah.
in this stage here.
Yeah.
Just like knock an enemy around a bit, and they just like go away, never to be seen again.
Yeah. This fight's a little bit technical just because we have to switch between sub-weapons so quickly, and you do that with the D-pad. What happened?
One guy. Oh, there you go.
Oh, gosh. That happens sometimes, too. There was some dude all the way back there, and he wouldn't die, so I couldn't start fighting the train. But yeah, using the D-pad to switch between weapons quickly here is a little bit tricky. I know where they are, like their order in the menu, so it's not too bad, but sometimes the D-pad can just eat my input.
And you got the main train coming up soon, and it's just one quick hit.
Ooh, that was not the quick hit. There we go.
Nice.
815 train, that's decent.
Yep.
All right, so we have two boss fights coming up, one right after another. We have Neptis again. What Tapioca needs to do is grab an enemy and use him as shield and start attacking Neptis, and hopefully corner her into a part, and then use spam Gauntlet and hopefully kill her quickly.
All right, let's see this. I don't like. Oh,
Nope.
she's in there. Let's see if she cooperates. Please.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
no.
Yeah. There she goes.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, she just flies away. It's
This is
okay
fine,
though. We have another boss fight right after this, which I have to explain really quickly because it goes by really quick. It's Arjet again, but Arjet's gonna be attacking you, but you can't really attack her, so you have to parry the attacks like so and grab her and start draining her life.
There we go. That was a good intro. This whole fight works on a timer, and if she cooperates, then we can skip her only attack. It looks like it's probably not going to happen. Ooh, it is going to happen. Nice.
Oh!
That is so lucky. That's like a 10% chance.
Yeah.
If I had to put a number on it, that's really uncommon to get a one cycle on her.
Yeah, so basically she's gonna do the whiffs like before where all her missiles shows up and start attacking, or she's gonna do her laser attacks.
It's always the laser.
So luckily, no laser.
Yeah, that laser wastes about 15 to 20 seconds. That's really cool to skip it. So now we've got to escort her out of here because she's actually not a bad guy, apparently.
Yeah,
There are 3 enemies that need to die. 2 of them are right here. The third one is somewhere very far away. And that's going to cause some problems. We got the sub-weapon Wisp, which is really useful. It lets us grab stuff from a distance. But that's not what I wanted to grab. So I'm trying to target this Claude, but other stuff is just going to get in the way. There we go. Now we can kill him pretty easy. And now the real hard part of this section is just getting out of here. So if we get hit by anything, we'll drop Arjet, and then all the enemies will swarm her, and the targeting system will freak out, and it'll be pretty tough to pick her back up. So hopefully I don't get hit by anything. The exit is right here. All right, very clean. That was nice.
Yeah, there's also an Easter egg. Like if you have Arjet at the very bottom, then
Yeah.
then you like let it sit for a while. Then she gets too hot and she takes off her shirt.
Yeah.
Typical Hideo Kojima.
All right, so the next 2 sections are a little bit weird in the speedrun just because they're so trivial. Here there's actually invisible mines everywhere, and you're supposed to be listening for directions, but I already know where to go, so I'm just gonna dodge all the mines. Here's the only other instance where I'm not gonna mash the dash button, and I'm just gonna get screamed at by Ken
Yeah.
about where to go, and I'm gonna completely ignore her.
Yeah, her name's Ken, as in, can you not?
Can you not?
So that last group of enemies we killed gave us Halberd, which is this sub-weapon here. It's extremely powerful. It just totally cuts through these guys. We're going to be using this for most of the rest of the run. It uses up kind of a lot of sub-weapon energy, so now we have to start worrying about that. Previously, we weren't worrying about it, but going forward for pretty much the rest of the run, we're going to have to be watching that meter a little bit. So in this bit, this is the second trivial section. There's all these elevators that lead to different places. Only one leads down into the basement, and it's this one. So we can just kind of skip a whole bunch of stuff, including a sub-weapon, actually. I think it's the only optional one in the game. down one of those elevators and we can just pretend it doesn't exist because it's useless. Here we go. We're now heading down into the basement, which is one of the scarier parts of the run, but it shouldn't be too bad. I've practiced this quite a bit. There are all these crushers coming off the walls, and if you get crushed, you're dead. So try not to get crushed is the idea. And through this, we're just going to be using Halberd. You can see the enemies group up like that, and then we just Halberd them, and they're dead instantly. There's nothing they can do. The crushers are consistent in when they move and how they move and stuff like that. So as long as I play this the way I always do, I shouldn't get crushed or anything. But it does happen from time to time. Just if I try something weird. I'm going this way.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to die, especially when you're like in the third room or so.
Yeah, there's not really any checkpoints here. There's a checkpoint every 3 rooms. There's 6 total. So you can lose a lot of time if you die right at the end of one of these rooms. Please stop trying to grab me. Oh my god, you're wasting a lot of time. We really want to use enemies to kill these sellers. Just it's a little bit faster.
These guys have tractor beams.
Yeah, Clods are very annoying. There we go, we're through the first half. So the entire second half of the basement was added to this special edition. But it's pretty much just more of the same, so now would be a good time for a donation or two.
Absolutely. We have $50 from Chi-Chi that says, I missed so many runs this year due to work schedule, but no way I will miss Zone of the Enders. Good luck to everyone participating, and please make sure that Dark Souls 3 run happens. We have $30 from Sayla. Zone of the Enders second runner is my favorite game, so I'm happy to see it played here. Great job with the event, and will make for a great weekend. Want to say hello to my wonderful friends in Cure Pazak as well, and I will see you guys soon. Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Yeah, my runner's choice is Dark Souls 3, by the way. I don't know. Just so people are aware, that's what we're going for. Actually, looks like I'm about to run out of sub-weapon energy here. Oh no, we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
If you're gonna run out in the basement, you're gonna run out right there, just because they don't give you any for a while. Sometimes the drops are random, but this is not one of those places. The drops are always gonna be in the same enemies. This is the last bunch. I'm gonna head down there. Please don't spawn anything. Thank you. So yeah, here I did run out. Just because I had some bad aim. We're gonna have to... There we go. No big deal. Alright, so we are through the basement. Here we want Phalanx equipped, because this, coming up, is the only strat in the entire game that only works on HD.
Yeah, this is a really cool strat here. What basically he's going to do is slash 3 times and use Phalanx. As you can see, Phalanx unlocks inert. And then once you start attacking it again, or start slashing again, you just go forward.
Yeah, so he's giving me kind of weird positioning here. Okay, we're fine. When he gets against the walls like that, he can actually break out of it, but now that we're in his second phase, there's kind of nothing he can do. Now we've got him in a good lock. The timing for this isn't that tight. It is a little tricky sometimes in that first half, but overall not too hard of a strat, and it's great because it skips this entire fight, which is like an auto-scroller otherwise. Not done yet, though. Now we got Anubis, too. So we only have to get 4 hits on him this time. We still can't kill him. The idea for that is if we fire these homing lasers at him, he'll just fly right at us. So we're trying to cancel his attacks and then, ooh, come on, have him come over here so we can stab him. Yeah, these crushers, they can't crush you, but they can block everything and be annoying. So that was actually super fast. Sometimes he can just use bad attacks that you can't punish, and then he causes problems. But that was cool.
I think this is one of my favorite stages in the game.
Yeah, so these are the battleships. What they want you to do is land on each battleship, kill some stuff to expose the core, land, use vector cannon, slowly charge up the vector cannon, and then destroy each core individually. But that sounds really terrible, so we're just gonna go ahead and vector cannon multiple ships at the same time. So I totally flew past ship 1. We'll come back for him later. and we're landed on ship 2, and we're going to shoot at 3. So for whatever reason, if you just don't get near the ships, I think is the way it works. The cores are just always exposed, so we can forget about having to fight other stuff, and we can just worry about the ships. So there was ship number 1. I'm gonna adjust my position a little bit because here's the first double shot. I'm aiming back at ship 1, and I think you can probably tell how this is gonna work. We're gonna shoot ship 1 and then quickly sweep over to the ship 2 core, and hopefully, if the game is nice, it will blow up both ships at once. Let's see how this goes.
A lot of shenanigans here with the strongest weapon in the game.
Yeah. Come on.
Got
Thank
him.
you.
Nice.
You can see the laser was going right through that core. It did not want to blow up. So for our last shot, we're going to be destroying ships 4 and 5. The setup for this is completely different than the last one, and it's a little bit harder. I screwed this up pretty terribly in practice, so let's see how this goes. Come on. This position's a little sketchy. Yeah, okay. So when I get knocked out of it like that, all the enemies catch up with me, and now I'm going to have to kill them, or they'll never let me do my thing. But that looks a little bit better, so let's try again. I might be too far forward on this ledge. Your position on this ledge actually is really precise. If I'm too far forward, I'll just slip right off. This looks fine,
Yeah,
and
good.
cycles are good. So hopefully... Let's see here. Oh, come on. I couldn't find... Oh, that was
Nice.
so lucky.
That was really, really good.
All right, let's see what happens here. So this is the Cot. This is very skill-based fight for a change. So I'm going to shut up and let someone else explain it.
So the Cot is basically a gigantic robot. What we're gonna do is hit the spine as like so.
Bad luck.
Yeah, we got get lucky with this laser here.
Ooh, that's not good.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So he either will fly away like so, or you at that point you just gotta grab the shield parts here and just gotta make what's best out of it.
Yeah, so I kind of got screwed by RNG there. I don't know if you could tell, but one of my homing lasers was not landing on the target. It was just flying around. And as long as that was out, I couldn't fire new ones. So I just got cheated out of a ton of damage. But right here, I'm going to try a crazy swag strat. This is normally what you do on higher difficulties, like not easy. But this is just so cool that I'm doing it anyway. And hopefully it will work out. So we've landed on Zakat's head. He's giving us a weird pattern because of the shield earlier. But this should work out fine. It's just going to take a little longer. So I'm charging up Vector Cannon. You do need to be standing on something for Vector Cannon to work, just by the way. Now, as soon as that's over, he should use that attack, which he did. Now we're going to slide towards his face and blast him right in the face. That's actually a really, really random strat. I hate doing normal runs because you have to do that in them. But it worked out great, so that's cool.
So we got the big battle here. Basically, you want to kill all the enemies idle on the map you see on the right-hand side for you to trigger the next wave. So what Happy Hook is going to be using is Halberd, and just quickly pick off enemies like here and there. He's going to fly around to manipulate them to follow him, like so.
Yeah, just a few things to note about this fight. I'm trying to stay close to the ground because when I'm close to the ground, the enemies are too. And then I can just kind of sweep left and right, and I don't have to worry about aiming vertically so much. Also, this is a port of a PS2 game, so there are only so many of these guys that can be loaded in at once. So sometimes, even if I'm standing right on top of enemies on the map, they won't appear because I have too much other stuff hanging around somewhere. So I'm trying to deal with these guys quickly so that doesn't happen.
I think like a maximum of like 7 or 8 will show up.
It's more than that.
More
It's
than
probably
that?
like
Okay.
15, I don't know. There are a lot of things about this fight that we actually don't understand right now.
Yeah.
For example, if you can figure out the trigger to cause the fade out at the end of the fight, I will love you forever. It is completely random as far as I'm aware. And it can waste like 20 seconds of just standing there. But I'm just going to keep sweeping through these guys, trying to kill them. So in the meantime, you can read a few more donations.
I would love to. We have $15 from Ascrop that says, love watching AGDQ this year. Upsetting that I had to work through most of it, especially the Ocarina of Time run. We have 30 from Nox A15 that says, played through Zone of the Enders series recently and can't wait to see how quicker Jehudi can become. Amazing work on the marathon as always. Keep it up and let's destroy cancer with the power of Mecha. Add my donation to the Dark Souls 3 bonus game incentive. Looking forward to it. We have $5 from All the High Winds 20 that says, hey Tapioca, I
Yo,
think
High
easy
Winds.
difficulty is the superior category.
Shut up. No, it's not.
Let me remind you that the easy difficulty you're running is actually normal difficulty for the NTSC-JP. So technically you're still playing normal, the superior category. In all seriousness though, good luck dude, and thank you both, Tapioca and Kiku, for all the contributions you guys have made to the speedrun.
Yeah, we just want to make a quick note what our Highwind said in that donation. The Japanese version is the difficulty lower, so easy would be normal in Japanese, and then normal would be hard in Japanese.
Yeah, they made this game harder in the US for some reason, and those difficulty changes do carry over to the HD version. So I'm starting to get towards the end of the first half of this fight. The way I'm trying to handle this now, I've switched to homing missile just because as the enemies start to get kind of backed by the Levs, my friendly units, they start to completely ignore me. And when they completely ignore me, I can't really kill them with Halberd very effectively. So I switched to homing missile. There's kind of a lot of stuff alive here. This isn't great, but it's fine pretty much. I just have to fly around a little bit more than usual. And as we get more and more into this fight, more and more of these Levs will start to get heavily damaged. And when they get heavily damaged, they start to complain a lot. So towards the end of this fight, there's going to be a lot of overlapping screaming, and it's going to be very funny. I don't remember if it's subtitled or not, but they get very angry with me for not caring about them.
Help
Alright.
me.
Yeah. Alright, so there's the second wave. No more enemies will spawn in after this. So we just have to kill probably like 95% of what's left alive, and then everything else will despawn, and the fight will end sometime after that. Just try and despawn some stuff here. I come out to try and meet this wave out away from the Levs so that the Levs won't interfere. Most of the wave just blows right by me though because they don't load in. Let's see here. This is second wave is pretty good though. I'm killing a lot of guys quickly here. It's a little tricky. It's nice that I'm playing in HD. Usually I can't see these enemies too well, and I'm just kind of aiming out into the fog and seeing if anything's there. But I can see quite nicely. These guys. Getting down to the last couple enemies, I'll probably switch to homing missile in a second here.
You know, I gotta say, for a game that originally came out on PS2, like having this many enemies to fight at once is actually quite impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, on PS2 it lags quite a bit here. But yeah, it is pretty cool. Alright, we're pretty much at the end of this. Just got a little bit more cleanup. One thing I never mentioned about this fight is that these energy drops are completely random, and I'm depending on them to go fast. So that's one of the ways this fight is kind of bad. Come on, just a few left. Oh, there are actually a whole bunch left hanging around up there. Hopefully they'll despawn themselves soon. I don't want to fly up there if I don't have to. Alright, yeah, you can see they all just sort of disappear now, so they're gone. So
Nice.
now we just wait some unspecified amount of time and then it ends. Yeah. Please find a way to skip this.
So what's our ranking for this?
Probably an S. Yeah,
Oh,
there you
nice.
go.
Yep.
You can get SS, not in a speedrun though. You have to leave all the Levs alive. You have to like heal them and stuff. It's really dumb.
But it's slower too.
Yeah. Alright, so these are some of the last normal fights in the run before we get to the final boss sequence. We've got homing missile still, but we've also now got zero shift, which is this teleport move that I'm doing. They really, really want you to use that for combat. They keep telling you that they recommend you switch to zero shift, but it doesn't matter at all. Zero shift is not very useful for combat. It is very useful for movement through these hallways, so that's how we're actually going to use it. And then for the combat, we're just going to stick with homing missile. I have a ton of sub-weapon energy now. I never mentioned this, but this is actually an RPG, and it's got a whole level up system with experience and all kinds of stuff that you only see if you check the pause menu. So in that last fight, I killed a ton of stuff, so I leveled up a whole bunch of times, and I now have a ton of sub-weapon energy. So aside from one little section coming up in a bit, I shouldn't have to worry about running out ever again. Come on. If you play this in New Game Plus, right around here somewhere, you can actually go fight yourself. And it's, I guess you could call him an optional super boss just because he kills you in one hit, even on easy. But you can get him in a corner and then spam Halberd and kill him instantly, so he's actually pretty easy.
I didn't even realize there was a secret boss in this game.
Yeah,
there's
there
a
are
couple,
two of
actually.
them.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
There are two, yeah. Back in that canyon that we were in on
Yeah.
Mars, you can actually go fight Almon Anubis, the final boss, and he's there, and you can go fight him. He's hiding behind some rubble.
What?
And
Yeah.
I haven't looked into this, but I think it might be faster to fight him on New Game Plus categories because it just teleports you right to the end of the canyon instantly after you kill him. I don't know if you do that, Keku.
No, I'll find out now. I mean, later.
Yeah.
So one thing to mention about Homing Missile too is that it's such an OP item that it just killed everything in one hit.
Yeah, it kills everything in one hit. We do have to watch out for how many missiles we fire, because right now I am running low.
Yeah.
I know I said you don't have to worry about it, but I lied. You actually do. Yeah, I don't have any more homing missiles, so we're going to deal with this the slow way.
Better use Zero Shift.
There we go. Yeah, don't use Zero Shift.
I recommend Zero Shift.
She even switches you to Zero Shift. She doesn't care about your opinion. She just wants to use Zero Shift.
Doesn't that only happen if you hit L3?
No,
Yeah.
she automatically switches to Zero Shift,
You know,
always.
in the beginning of the stage.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So this hallway is a little bit stupid. If I get hit by one of those blasts, I will go all the way back to the start. I'm not going to go for the risky 9th dash because I screwed up a little bit. But once we get to the end of this, we're going to attempt one cycle on the laser. I've never seen this in HD before, but there's actually no laser there. It's just a wall with a ball charging in front of it. I just realized that. That's kind of funny. But now, for story reasons, we get one last charge up of the Vector Cannon before we get to go fight Anubis 3, the final boss, sort of.
Yeah, so the first phase basically trying to use Zero Shift and trying to get some attacks in to damage Anubis to half-life. And then we're going to go on to phase 2 of the Anubis fights here.
Alright, let's see how this goes. I can combo him with the stabs. It's a little bit weird, please.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
that doesn't work on the original PS2 version, but then for some reason they added that. I don't know why, but they actually rebalanced this whole fight completely. On the original PS2 version, this fight is horrible.
Yeah.
And it's pretty bad on HD and Special Edition as well, but it's slightly less bad. So I'm hoping that he gives me missiles, which he is right now. Once he gives me the missile, I can Zero Shift at him, get this combo in. And now we're hoping to bait out some attacks that don't hit me, so that I can... he's not being cooperative. So my health is really low now. I'm going to play this safe for the rest of the fight now.
Yeah, this is considered the hardest fight in the game.
Oh yeah, this is the hardest by a long shot.
Yeah, because the last boss is pretty free, as long as you know the patterns.
Yeah, even on easy, it is actually possible to die on this guy, and I have done it on world record pace. So hopefully that won't happen here. My health is a lot lower than I would like it to be, so I'm going to not tank so many hits, but sometimes it's just inevitable. Getting towards the end. Please don't teleport.
Oh, looking good.
All right, one more should do it. Nah, he's teleporting all over the place.
Oh,
that should do it.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so I did lie earlier. There are a couple more fights we have to do just against regular enemies.
stop lying.
I know, I'm a horrible person. But so these guys, we're totally powered up now. Just regular old homing lasers totally killed those dudes in one hit. Like,
Even
we're super OP at this point.
Even the P shot can kill them one hit.
Yeah. So we just have to clean up some dudes. I think we're on, like, the moon or something. I'm not quite sure. This looks like the moon.
That's no moon.
Alright, there we go. So now we're actually done. So even though we killed Nephthys 3 times and deleted her AI, she shows up again. I'm not sure why. We totally dodge her. If you kill her, she keeps respawning. And this is the final boss. The estimate is really bad because this category used to be very different when I submitted this to GDQ originally. So what I'm trying to do, and it's not quite working, is I'm trying to use Zero Shift twice, and that baits out the shield. And then once his shield is out, then we can just get a free hit like that. So this fight's not hard, like I couldn't possibly die to him or anything, but this is a really trolly fight to have as your final boss because of this. This is a heal cycle. Right now I can't damage him and he's trying to heal himself. So he does these from time to time. There are periods where he likes to do them, but it is decently random. It is technically possible to beat this whole fight without him ever trying to heal. I've never seen that before. I've seen it, but I've never done it myself. This is on pace for a 1 cycle, actually. Oop, nope, never mind. So if you play perfectly and he gives you the worst possible RNG, then you get 3 cycled. That's very uncommon. It's more likely, the most likely pattern is a 2 cycle, which is what it looks like I'm going to get here if I don't screw up. So every heal cycle wastes like 20-30 seconds. It's really terrible if you're on a good run, and then you just get 2 cycled, and there's nothing you can do about it.
By the way, time's coming up soon.
Yeah, time's gonna come up right now.
GG, man.
Yeah, GG. So there we go. We killed Anubis. He screams, he blows up. We rip his head off and throw it into the explosion, and the world is saved. Another Hideo Kojima production. And we can skip that and see our results screen. The clear time on this doesn't seem to correlate with anything at all. I don't know what that means. I learned the other day you can press L1 to make it disappear and see the background image.
So that's Ken. Oh, Dingo is the white hair guy.
We've been playing as the dude on the left.
And Ken is the one on the right.
I got the best rank. What really matters is the clear data time. When you save, you get a more accurate time. It's off by 2 minutes, but let's see what we get here. Any second now. 43:28. So my final time is probably, yeah.
45.
See, look at that. It's 2 minutes fast, almost exactly. So that was a great run.
Yeah, really great.
Yeah,
run,
we finished
man.
way under estimate. So anyway, I have a few shout outs. First of all, mega shout out to all the high wins he donated earlier. He's like an OG runner of this game. I'd say at least half the strats that I used in the run, I just sort of stole from him. Also, huge shout outs to Shadows Abyss, who also donated earlier. He is the one who got me into running this game. He just randomly showed up in chat one day and told me I should pick it up, and I listened to him. And I'm very thankful that I listened to him. And finally, huge shout outs to anyone who's actually in the room right now, because it is very early, and you know, it's just cool to have people out supporting this early. But anyway, thank you so much, and stick around. Keep watching GDQ.